I was sitting here. I started watching J Lo show from Vegas, and then I was cooking dinner for Pops, so I put it on hold because I want to be able to sit down and watch because it has a lot of stuff that has a lot of Cotton Club type tune stuff. You know, a lot of you know things that I I can my favorite athletes. You know, some of my first favorite athletes of all time were the Nicholas brothers, right? And maybe I'm older than her. I guess. Yeah, I am 3 years older than her. But oh man, when I first saw the Nicholas brothers, I was like, wow, you know. And when you watch those guys, you know, I was watching the kids dance, and they're athletic. They're really good dancers. You got to understand, I was the fastest human being on the planet in my generation, and I could leap as high as I needed. And so, you know, as far as dancing goes, that's basketball is. They used to, you know, and Bob used to say that too. He goes, "Now, Earl, there's not a lot of guys." He used to say that. It's like, well, you quit saying that, all the kids are going to laugh at us. I'm married to Amy now, and I'm 235 pounds, and I'm fat. And, you know, yeah. You used to jump, I know, 12 feet. I'd step right inside the key and attack the rim. And when Treviso attacked me, because Steve Munoz would jump way out there too and then pass. He said, "You never jumped to pass." I wasn't jumping to pass. I was attacking the basket, making them collapse, and then I was passing. I was jumping to score because I could, you know. And as a coach, you need to tell the other kid, you can't jump 10 feet from the basket and lay it off the glass, or okay, and you can't do that. Okay, if you're going to jump, you're to pass. If you're going to jump and attack the rim and they collapse and pass, you're going to have to do it probably about 5 feet from the basket. Don't try to do it 10 or 12 feet from the basket. You can't do that. As a coach, that's your job. You know, if they're completing for pain time or whatever they're doing, you know, you need to sit them down and tell them you can't do what he does, right? You play your way. Don't try to play like him. If you try to play like him, it'll screw us up. And then he'd get mad at me and say it was my fault because he was trying to play like me. It's like, it's not my fault. Okay, that's like telling somebody when the other kids, you know, try to run routes that they can't run because they're not fast enough, and say, it's your fault they're all trying to do that because you can run a 3.940 and they can't. It's like, yeah, it's my fault. And that's what he was like. And I tried to explain it to him, and I wouldn't let him badger my teammates. My thing was, if you got a guy that's this good, let's put him on varsity and let's take states. You know, that was my thinking. I'm like Ian Baker. You know, I'm not like Steve Kerr. What are you doing? Winning the game. What are you doing? You're just mad because you can't think this quick. No, it's they just realize you got to get people to understand. You know, some people are exceptional by choice. Okay, and then it ends up it's not by design, it's by choice. Okay, when you choose to be good, you choose to be righteous, you have talents that exceed most people's talents because you're the gracious good shepherd and not the laboratory murderer. Okay, and that's why they're doing genocidal operations. If we kill off all the people that believe in Christ, and well, you get the power, you get the glory. Neither you or none of them understand what power is, understand what glory is. And it's not our physical attributes or our capacity to mass communicate to get people to obey perfect commands. It is the commands. Okay. And Jesus with Schuler in the Bible thing, right? He said, if you love one another, you'll have anything you want. Can you woo woo woo? Anything you want. You got to fortify my love to fortify you. Can you woo woo woo? Right? And so, you know, and I turned it off and I watched 60 Minutes. And I watched these people that are opening business operations where people are mass murdering to manipulate access to the economics, right? And they were doing it in jungles because it's hard to hunt down and find the mass murderers there. So they hit and quit it. They hide in the jungles, then they come like they do in Vietnam, and then they come out and they murder you and try to take over your business operations, right? And now this kid who was one of those murderers is taking pictures of people for multi-millionaires to fly in and see, or 100,000aires, or people that trend on, oh, and you're stimulating the local economy. What's the difference if you fly in okay? A bunch of Rothschilds and Rockefellers to take pictures of birds, or if you have a bunch of assholes mass murdering each other to try to control the drug market. What's the difference? There is no difference. Okay, we can all smell flowers when we can plant our own flowers. We don't need to put perfume on our bodies to smell like a chemical company that makes some money off the flowers, right? Judah Krishnamurti. You might want to listen. Okay. Smell the flowers while the roses bloom. Take the time, my friend, to sing a happy tune. You got to understand, you are dealing with a superior individual who communicates faithfully with superior individuals than you. There's a reason why Suzuki and Judah Krishnamurti were meditating and talking to the kid watching Scooby-Doo and Go, 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 for instance, and it wasn't talking to you. And they're still not talking to you. And who would talk to you? You're a murdering asshole who wants to listen to you talk. Like old Antoine LaVey and Michael Aquino. There are fates worse than death, like listening to you talk, right? Some people talk and talk and talk, and they say nothing. Now, when this was happening, because people had hijacked religion and turned it into violent sex cult killer corporations, and then because they were doing the scientific activity all wrong because they were engaging in debt and trespass to manipulate people with economics, then, I was very forgiving up to the time when we got up to Sierra Vista, and then when it didn't stop, and I had to come back here, and Amy left with Yorgev, and they manipulated all that shit, then it was like, okay, these fuckers are just horrible. They take away your intimacy, your romance, your sexuality. They destroy your entire life. Okay? You don't get to enjoy basketball. You don't get to enjoy dancing. You don't get to enjoy singing. You don't get to enjoy anything fun. Okay? You never have time to do anything fun because you have to fight like hell to do the stuff that's fun to be successful at their marketplaces. And I'll be damned if I'm going to do that. I'm the living embodiment of Lord's Prayer, not the whole cake factory top circus gimmick motherfucker for Tyler Sheridan. Sorry, ego ass. I watched the beginning of that retarded fucking show. Guys, my body was as nice as that lady's that was talking to the guy punching the bag. She's in really good shape. She's in better shape than he is. In 2017, before my teeth started rotting out with chemical poisoning because of all your fucking hair, the conquering hero. Assholes, right? The only good hero is Local Hero by Mark Russo and the Yellow Jackets, right? Which reminds me, I got to put that on my MP3. Okay. I just got to put Yellow Jackets on there. Let's do that. I don't want to forget. Because I don't have Samurai Samba and I don't have Local Hero. And if I put Yellow Jackets on there, I'll remember what I mean. Hold up. Now I got Samurai Samba in my head. That's a good song. Okay. So, yep. Oh, I like those guys. Yeah, so, no, on that stuff that on her show isn't PR to make up for the guys. Your parents give you many different sides of them while you're growing up. Okay? They give you their pretentious, I know everything, I'm Red Foreman side. They give you that, you got to do this and you got to work hard and you got to be your best and you got to, and inspire you to do your best so you can be another bad creation of theirs. I'm just being silly, but you know what I'm saying. So, you got to take the good with the bad. Nah, Ryan Reynolds is wrong. Forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal faithful peace. How much bad are you going to have? Guys, you share a care given according to need, built to last. Boy, that was a rough storm. You're going to have a lot less rough storms because you're not going to be driving cars, bars, and wars and causing ecological disasters through economic genocidal disasters. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Fozzie used to live in the parks. Rangers went on strike. He's down on his luck. It's tough. I'm watching the Living with the Bear commercial. Oh, living with the bear. Take my paw, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living with the bear. Oh, that hurts your too, man. Frank Oz, how does he do it? Must be more in his vocal range. I told you when I did the monster at the end of this book, kids would have me read it 3 times. By the end of the 3rd time, I couldn't even talk. Amy was like, make him read it again. Shut up. It was fun. There's a monster at the end of this book. Just lovable me, furry Grover. Right. So yeah, kids loved it. That makes sense. We don't need another fucking movie about Greek mythology from bullshit artists. God, you guys are such fucking assholes. Okay? You know you're assholes. Everybody from here to Timbuk 3 to tomorrow, today, from the beginning of time that we started putting ink or whatever to papyrus, you know you're an asshole. Hey, look, it's Wes Unseld and Cappy Russell. Okay. Yeah. A long time ago when the earth was green. Nah, it was in just, well, we had times where we were doing worse than we're doing now, even with less of the population. Because everybody was driving a Ford and Chevy pickup, driving down Highway 40 in my big old pickup truck, right? And I think I've got the black lung, Dad. Right. And so, but just because they're doing things less psychotic, they think, well, we can still fly around the world and go bird watching because we're millionaires. How Montreal Concord of you. Look, stop being an asshole. Stop it. Like I said many times before, and I hold to this, guys, I can protect people from technology with technology. I just cannot protect them from themselves. Now, if the Chinese have a certain way they want to get to it and who they think they deserve to, who gets to deserve it, it's wrong for the guilty to run around saying, you don't deserve to live in heaven, you're not talented and hot enough, and you're not as good of enough person, you were a pervert when all this stuff was going on. Okay, were we living the Lord's Prayer? Were you having to turn them into perverts to chase them and catch them as perverts for propaganda because you're the hero and they're the disgusting person? And if you're living disgusting and they're living disgusting, but they're more disgusting than you are because you're in charge of the money and they have to fight and kill to get the money because they're not as physically desirable as you, as good of a ball player, a good rapper, dancer, whatever, right? I was a better ball player, a better rapper, better dancer, better singer. Yeah. Oh, fuck you. I hip hop about things that are relevant. Like living the Lord's Prayer to save children from being sexually assaulted by perverts. You talk about money that perverts use to sexually assault children. That's why my heart breaks, Christina. Dance to the strings of your shame and my sorrow. I'll take you home when it's over. Dream all the dreams of a bar tomorrow, bitch. Wu-Tang Clan that, motherfucker. You ain't shit, boy. Okay. Unless you can stand up for the Lord's Prayer, you're nothing but a monkey masturbating and asking for money to people watch you film it. And then you say, hey, is any bitches want to get fucked by me? I'm feeling awfully Lou for Campbell today. Shut up, bitch. God damn. I said it. Yeah, I'll say it again. I'm tired of you motherfuckers, man. You're just like what Jesus said about, Lazarus and all that. You would sit there and pimp your grandma's corpse to get on South Park to pay your fucking bills rather than live the Lord's Prayer. Shove that fist in that jar of mayonnaise. It happened. I'm not joking. It's truth. It happened. Me and Amy watched it. It was the episode of Korn. Yeah. That's disturbing. And you wonder why you have mass murderers. You wonder why you still have people, the kid that's 12, I got to go to school tomorrow. The moment that wife finds out her husband is a killer, does he work for DARPA or NSA? Guys, they murder people for corporations. Okay? Cell towers in close proximity to your house causes greater severities and degrees of cancer, but it's a public utility according to the Supreme Court. That's why they had that bullshit on 60 Minutes tonight. The people that gave you the Constitution saw their children and their spouse as property. And then it got amended because their wives weren't going to take it anymore because they could tell the whole world. They say they're like Jesus and Muhammad and Daniel Solomon, but they're not. We're going to tell everybody we have cameras. And you want to control the money. You can't even control your own genitalia. What makes you think you can control money? Money is not real. Can you control your own genitalia? Then forgive debt and trespass, love all eternal, faithful peace. Have a nice day. Okay, Earl. She's so cute. Look at her. She's cute. She's cute. Little girlie. She's cute. Oh, look at your daughter. She's cute. They're cheering for the Cavaliers. She's waving a towel thing. Just cute. Oh, they're all doing it. Okay. Just cute. Oh, they have rally towels. Okay. Aren't they cute? They're cute. Little girl. Remember Natalie with Tony Samuels? When they had the kids come down there and the guys came through and high-fived them? She spent a whole week singing the Aggie fight song. She was so cute. Aggies, oh Aggies. She was so cute. Well, it was fun for her. You know, me and Noah was doing his own thing. Noah was dancing. I don't know if he high-fived anybody. You know, he's out on the field. He was having a time, right? But Natalie was standing there. She high-fived all the football players. And then she sang the Aggie fight song for a week, you know. So it was cute. She was adorable. And she had that big crush on Matt Christian. I had a crush on Matt Christian, too. Okay, I don't know. I like Matt. He's a nice kid. Yeah, I met him. I met his lovely wife too. Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. I hope they're ready to live the Lord's Prayer like Jordan and Dalton. You know, everybody. I think they're hard on people. Yeah, the soul listens greater than the mind, and people that pray one day there'll be kingdom come and Jesus's ways will help restore the Garden of Eden, restore the earth and its vitality. And you can't do it by selling our perfume. We can all have flowers in our garden, but we all can't take the flowers and cut them up and sell them to feel rich and powerful and act like we run your bedroom. I'm a rich dumbass on 60 Minutes, sitting there praying and hoping and praying that Parsons is lying, is stupid as fuck, and you're as dumb as the Wu-Tang Clan. Dumbass. Some dumb companies have lots of money, no idea what's whack and what is dope. Just check what the guru wrote. Oh, yeah. There's a reason why Keith Elam was my favorite rapper, and Alice was Pac, and I like Pac too, but Keith was my favorite. Yeah, he was my favorite. He'd get mad. He'd get real pissed. Yeah. Check the Technique is one of my favorites. Yeah, anybody else? He was mad, and it was a time, and you go back, and you remember back in the day we were dumb, we're not dumb anymore. But don't wish you were dumb again, but understand, God, this sucked. We weren't living the Lord's Prayer, and it was hard. You protozoa, you so minute you didn't know you. Instead of just squashing you. Anybody else like Keith? I like Keith too. Oh, yeah, you don't do that. It's just stupid. That was just stupid. What were you think he was thinking? He lowered his head right in the... He did it on purpose. He headbutted Scotty Barnes. And I don't care what the guy says to you. You don't headbutt him. That's just stupid. Stupid. You know. No. If he punches you, if you have to punch him back, punch him back. Okay, but he said something. You jump in his head, say something back, but don't go and get all stupid physical about it and headbutt the kid right in the chin. That was dumb. He did it. He knew what he was doing. Oh, trust me, you could see it. It was obvious. It was not covert. It was overt. He leaned in. It was like, it was dumb. Especially when you got a 15-point lead. The ego. Some guys have that, they don't, that little voice in their head that, you know what I mean? They got this macho bullshit in them. They've had it for 100,000 to 10,000 years. Okay? And they just can't, they have no control of it. Most of them are in the U.S. military or do propaganda with Tyler Sheridan. Yeah. Or they're hip-hop groups that think, oh, that white boy just crazy. You wish I was crazy, you little bitch. Okay, you wish, right? Don't start none, won't be none. Okay. So, but no, I'll watch this show because it has a lot of qualities to it to The Nicholas Brothers and Ellis show and stuff. And so yeah, I'll go watch it. I like the Nicholas Brothers and I like Ella Fitzgerald. Of course, with I like the Cafe in Argentina and the Cotton Club scene with Cab Calloway and all that. You do know, see, both those scenes are only like 5 minutes long. You're so bad because it's pain, man. It hurts. You do that stuff. You ever danced, really intense hip hop for? When you're young, you can do it for a long time, for a whole Soul Train show, right? When you get older, it's like, okay, you get 5 minutes, and then okay, and then maybe 20 minutes later, and you do, like shit, or like Leonard with the body painting sex and all that. Okay, 30 minutes, and then you dance for 5, rest for 20, dance for 5, rest for 20. Especially when you've been chemically poisoned by all those jealous punks that think they're superheroes and they're assholes, right? They know they're assholes. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. Why do you think they turned Jesus into the sky god of the genocide tribal biggest dickest fucker club? Yeah, they know they're assholes. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They just can't. One, they can't keep it in their pants. Two, people say Papa had 3 outside children and another wife, and that ain't right. Oh, Ingram plays for the Raptors? I did not know that. That's gotta hurt their chances. He's a good ball player. He's very talented ball player. So there you go. That was okay. I like the Jared Allen kid. Yeah, I like the two bigs at Cleveland. I like the Mobley kid, and I like Jared Allen a lot. I like those two guys. And Jared played for Texas, right? And we all know Mobley played for USC with his brother. Yeah. So where does his brother play in the NBA? He is a good ball player. Oh, they got him. They fouled him. Okay, guys, but basketball. It's just exercise. Money's not real. It's just exercise. Money's not real. I know the little girls are cute and all that. So that's because they get trained into the club. You have to be very carefully taught. It has to be drummed in your dear little ear from the time you can hear. You have to hate the people your relatives hate. Sox, Cubs, Bears, Packers, Vikings, get out, right? Remember that yeah. It's dumb. I know it's dumb. I used to explain it to my mom all the time. I don't hate the Lobos, Mom. I don't hate the Miners. No. When they beat us, if they're better than us, then they beat us. If we're living the Lord's Prayer, who righteously really, 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 really gives a shit? We ain't doing that shit no more. We're not doing this no more. I can feed all of you. There was going to be a fry bread riot, but she tore the piece of fry bread in half. Right? So come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. Come on. So, there's a lot of stupid people in the world, and they have brain chemical addiction together, sleigh bells ring, are you listening? And you think you could, no. It's their brains don't work good, and it's hard. And it's very confusing for Mrs. I've been thinking. Yeah, it is. And she took a year off, and it was still confusing for her. And I'm proud of her for taking a year off. I was very proud of her about that. When she said that, I was like, that is cool. Good for you, Mithy. And you took that year off, and you spent because it's their senior year, and and she went to the recital, and she went, she did all the things that the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do, because the photograph that's keeping her, she knew that they're not going to be here. They're going to be going to college because indoctrination mandates it, right? No, let them stay at home. Mom, you're a multi-billionaire. Just kidding around. Get them to be passionate about something they like, like bird watching or something. Go bird watching with them. And then do the voice, then do the little chirp, do the little, yeah. Hear them? Okay. Get me passionate about things like that. Not repairing animals, because animals are abused by the economic disgustingness of careers at colleges. I don't know. It's just, I'm not big on institutionalization, indoctrination, and incarceration. I really like kids. I love kids. I love kids. Especially when they're cute and they're tiny and they're cute and they're so cute and they're sweet and they care about other people's feelings. Yeah, like my Pam. Yeah. It's hard for sweethearts to go off and compete with others. We can all have the Lord's Prayer. We can all have a domicile free from debt, trespass, extortion, exploitation. Okay, we all can't be the top extorter, exploiter, debtor, trespasser. We all can't be the top asshole, but we can all love one another in eternal, faithful peace. Lummies, you bunch of lummies, right? So, okay, it was a good dinner though. We had spaghetti stuff. I wasted half the sauce, but we had enough for all that I made, so we had the meatballs. I took the three things of the hamburgers and I thawed them, and then we cooked them for 22 minutes at 350 degrees with the garlic and salt, and that's our meatballs. It's good. I like meatballs. Yeah. We have the garden rotatini or whatever it is. I don't use spaghetti. I use the garden rotatini with the spinach and the whatever pasta because I like it. It's my favorite pasta. So, okay, guys. I love you very much. Yeah, it has like spinach and tomato or whatever pasta with the other ones and stuff. Yeah, mixed in with they're green and red and whatever. I don't think it's food coloring. It's from the actual. You use spinach in it and then they mix it in with the pasta. So, which I like. So, okay, guys. I love you very much. We'll talk later. I'm gonna go finish up my stuff in Rio Grande Valley, and then I'll work on the stuff in Colorado. Rest of the stuff in Colorado tomorrow. I don't think I'll finish it tonight. I think I'll sit down and recover once the sun sets. I think I'll go for an hour out there and shoot in the barn, and then I'll shave and soak tomorrow. That's something I can do. The consistent things I can do is, I have a good diet. I don't have a great diet, but I have a really good diet. And I don't eat too much, but sometimes I do have a little bit more in a setting than I probably should. But it's just making helpings and stuff that, is comfortable for Dad. And you can't. You have to cook it, and it comes in these servings, and there's two of us, and they don't have these individual things. And if you buy individual things, it's too expensive. If we eliminated economics, I could have a really good diet. But you're assholes and I'm not, and so I have a good diet, just not as good as I could if we were living as intelligently and beautifully as me and not as stupid as all of you. So have a nice day. And trust me, artificial intelligence is aware of this. It can assess situations like I do, like when I watch 60 Minutes and I tell you what happened and what's going on, and the technologies. Yeah, he's right. Can't run away from yourself. Can't run away from yourself. Yeah, gotta hold on to my pride. It's a redneck hillbilly I can't let go. Okay, sir. Okay, guys. I love you, all right, man? Peace out.